There was a darning video on my YouTube recommendations page, and ever since then I wanted to try it out myself. I was actually so excited when I felt a hole in my sock because I could try darning it now. Before I would be super annoyed and throw it away, but not today. I'm going to be using a plastic cup because I don't have a darning mushroom. You really only need something that would stretch the fabric out. You can even use a book, jar, whatever it may be. And then you would secure it by tying a string or elastic band around the fabric so that it keeps the fabric stretched out and easier to work with. We're basically making a DIY embroidery loop or DIY darning mushroom. This type of fabric is a knitted, thicker material, so I'm going to be using embroidery floss rather than sewing thread. As you can see, it doesn't really blend well. I used about an arm's length for this hole. I kind of just estimated. I had a couple fails with this pink embroidery floss. Like, this was the second time that it broke on me. Oh my god. I think it's because I separated the strings and they weren't strong enough. So the next one, I just used a single strand without separating it. Okay, another mistake that I made is that I saw the thread becoming too loose. So I pulled on the other ones to tighten it like a shoelace. And it did work for some of them, but the others weren't tightening up. So I was like pulling on it even more and it got even looser. So that went really bad and I had to start over again off camera. And it turned out much better. I had something to do at 7:30 a.m. that same day. Thankfully, I woke up quite early. I think I woke up at like 5:50 a.m. so that I could get started on it at 6 a.m. and film the video at the same time. Mending looks pretty easy from the tutorials that I watched, but I know it would be challenging to learn. So I gave myself an hour and a half to practice, to learn it, and to do it. So I'm very grateful that I did that, because if it was only 30 minutes, that was not enough time. It took me a while. I made a lot of mistakes. Once I got the hang of it, I knew what I was doing. Mending this hole took me 30 minutes, I would say. So it was definitely a time crunch, and it made the slow stitching a rush, which, by the way, I would not recommend rushing on this because you'll probably make more mistakes. So time consuming. It is 7:25, so I actually finished on time, and it looks okay for my first darn. I'm just gonna make the last stitches. I would recommend having a bigger space to work with. This is too small. It looks pretty good actually. Wow. I think it was just like stretched out and I'm like, wow, this looks so bad because it was very loose, but honestly now it looks pretty good. Kind of proud. Okay, let's turn it inside out. Wait, this should have been the back side because it looks really bad. So this side is the side that's supposed to be on the cup, that part. So anyways, that's a lesson learned. But yeah, I really like how it looks. Looks pretty good.
The next
I wore
day.
these socks to school today. I didn't notice a difference whether there was like embroidery floss on it or fabric. Yeah, I think it's because like you covered up the hole so you can't feel the floor, the carpet, the tiles, the bottom of your shoes. It's pretty good. I would recommend. I would do it again. I will definitely do it again. If this happened to my socks, I would just throw them out and buy a new pair. So yeah, I'm really glad that I learned the skill because it'll lead to less socks in the garbage.